No, no, no. We're gonna put our song on. Where is the chat? Where is the chat? There we go. Zero viewers. You already know. That's just how it rolls. All right, guys. Let's go live. Let's match. Hey, hey, Rain. What's up? All my 67 loyal bots. How y'all doing? How y'all holding up? We're gonna go match. Yeah. Hopefully they can hear me just fine. What's happening with you, man? Okay, that's just whatever. Yo, what's up with your dog? What's going
You.
on, darling?
Question of the day. Are you a leader or are you a follower?
It's most definitely a leader. I'm a man. What do you expect?
Okay. What makes you a leader?
What makes me a leader? Because first and foremost, I'm a man. I'm an alpha man, and I put God first, and God leads me. So in turn,
Okay.
I am a leader.
So, considering these environmental circumstances, how do you continue to, to walk in your own path and do what's best for you?
Well,
Considering all the influences and everything that's happening out here today.
okay. Well, one of the most dangerous things you can do is walk in your own path because we don't know it all, you know. So it's good to have that introspection that you don't know it all, and especially as you grow and as you evolve. You know, for me personally, I put God first, so I put His way first before mine.
Okay. Okay. So, my answer, honestly, living in a male dominant world,
Whoa,
understanding
today?
the circumstances that females like me deal with on a day to day basis, I had to pose this question just to clarify for myself because I've always been a leader. I've always done my own thing. For example, I can go into any neighborhood comfortably and do what I got to do because as a traveling hairstylist, I can do whatever I want whenever I want.
Hmm.
So when people put these stereotypes on individuals like me, it's kind of hard to explain the difference between a leader and a follower. So
So why do
I just
you?
wanted to
So,
check up.
so are you comfortable being in a position of leadership?
Absolutely a leader. I've been doing my own thing since I became aware and, comfortable with who I am as a person. So,
Do you want to be? Are you married?
no.
Do you want to be married?
Eventually, one day, maybe, but the way, society is driving us right now, it's not about, it's more about beneficial relationships more than anything else.
So like
So,
partnerships is what you mean, or you're referring to like friends with benefits sort of ordeal.
like a situationship, beneficial ships, situations like that in these days and age. So nobody's bringing 100%, 75. It kind of depends on the
Do you
crowd of
believe
people you're around.
Do you believe in biological imperatives? Like, do you believe that
Yeah.
men and women we have our own instinctual nature?
Yes, I do.
Do you think that the characteristics that you put forth earlier, the character traits that you forementioned, such as leadership, um, assertive dominance, and all these things, do you think that's coincides with female natures?
Yeah, I do.
So, okay, um, now if that's true, then how is it that we have not seen a matriarchy withstand the test of time?
I have no idea. But I know as an entrepreneur since the age of 16, as a leader, always standing my ground wherever I have been. I've been more influential and more beneficial in other people's lives than they would ever allow me to be in my own. So sometimes I do these venting sessions to just check in with myself to understand where I'm at with this situation and continue to be a full-time mother, a full-time parent, and a full-time worker and, stay independent because
But that's
it's
the
hard
thing,
out
though.
here.
That's the thing, though. Don't you have? have you recognized that, or at least are you aware that a lot of black women share that very same sentiment into independence?
Yeah, I do.
And with this
But
mindset,
everybody goes about it. Everybody goes about it differently.
right,
Everybody goes about it differently. I don't have honestly. I refuse to accept that competitive mindset because I feel like we're equal. We got the same exact thing, regardless of how you look, regardless of how I look. We got the exact same
you believe
thing.
men and
So
women are
never,
equal?
no, females.
Females are
So
equal.
so not for 1 second out of a minute am I ever comparing or competing with another female. You know what I'm saying?
Well, the reason why I mentioned the whole independent mindset is because it seems like a lot of women, a lot of black women in particular, have taken on, really grasped this whole independent mindset for quite some time now, for the better part of like 50 years, and as a result, you see less than,
50 years.
well, yeah, I mean the feminist movement, the first feminist wave really started in the 1960s, so it's actually been a little bit over a half a century. These women have kind of adhered to this single, independent, I don't need no man sort of mindset. When that's, I personally think that's detrimental for women to believe that, because we need each other. We should be
Okay,
interdependent
to go back
upon
to
each other.
that thing, and that's why I touched it. That's why I started off with the environmental circumstances. You never know what environment a person came from. You never know how they were raised. You don't know what they've been exposed to. So
So you believe
seeing
in
how
so
everybody
you believe people are a product of their environments?
products of their environment. So if I gotta coochie pop and compare and compete a guy for a guy and then decide which one I would prefer, then that's not what I'm gonna do. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do my own thing. And whatever happens, happens. Okay? It's not always about comparing and competing, but I'm pretty much
Okay, so let's go with this whole notion of people being a product of their environment. So then let me pose a hypothetical for you. So if we were back in 1985 at the height, well, I want to say, yeah, early 80s, at the height of the crack endemic, excuse me, the crack cocaine epidemic, and I was selling crack or pushing drugs to my community, and then consequently FBI came to my house, boom, busted the door, took me in, and they were interrogating me, and they said, "Hey, we got you,
yeah.
we got you, we caught you red-handed." And then my only excuse was, "I'm sorry, I was raised this way. I'm a product of my
Right.
environment." Do you think that's gonna have any weight or any bearing on what happens to me at that moment, or are they gonna throw my ass in prison?
They're gonna throw your ass in prison.
So this whole notion of being a product of your environment, ultimately it comes down to your choice making. It comes down to you making the practical choice for your life that's beneficial for you and your future. So regardless of whatever your environment is or your circumstances is, you still have the will and the forthright, the conscientiousness to make a good decision for your own self.
No, I, my own. I label them sessions, but these are like kind of like verbal therapy sessions for myself. Discussing with people, perspective of my, of what I question myself about, and just to get just to get another perspective of things. Because
Yeah.
you know,
Well, I know you're going to talk to a lot of people here, and I want to hold you up, but just my perspective, so you can understand, is that we need each other. This whole independent mindset that a lot of our black women have taken on, I think, has been detrimental to, especially the black community. I mean, you see, 50% of our black men are single and childless, and a lot of them are starting to date outside of their race because a lot of these women share this mindset of independence. I can do.
why, why
Say it again.
they, they, they out of their race because it's more beneficial.
Yeah, it's beneficial because they'd rather deal with a more docile, submissive woman as opposed to a woman who's proclaiming and professing that she's equal to the man and that she's dependent, independent, and don't really need him.
If I cross somebody with I come across a person with a okay, I give her not expect more from her, then that's not fair for me. So it is what it is, and people got to do what they got to do for themselves, you know.
I feel you. I
But nice
feel you.
talking.
Yeah, I feel you. Hey,
To you.
thank you for the dialogue, and I hope everything works out for you, darling.
I like your name.
Yeah, the real unwoke. I'm gonna follow you. Follow me too, okay? All
All
right,
right,
take care.
you too.
All right, there you go, folks. Single, independent. I don't need no man. That's that mentality. What's going on, G? Okay, let me pull the YouTube up and see what's poppin' docking. Let's go
Where the hoes
here.
at?
What's happening with you, G?
Where the hoes?
Come on. Let's have a little bit more discretion. How you doing
Where the
today,
hoes
sir?
at, man?
How you doing today, sir? See? Pookies and Ray Rays. Predators. I'm not engaging with the Pook. Well, I'm not gonna say that. I'll talk to the Pookies and the Ray Rays, but what's happening? Hello, hello. What's up? Okay. Okay. Hello, hello, hello.
Hello.
Keep it going. Keep it going. I'm single, independent, don't need no man. That is the most, by far, the most asinine perspective any woman can have. I'm single, independent, don't need no man. Well, you know what? We need each other. We need each other.
That bother you so much? Why do you care?
Well, the reason why I care is because, oops, hold up 1 second. Because I've watched my mother's generation, my grandmother's generation. A lot of these women died alone. Like they literally had nobody for.
With that, everyone passes away alone.
Well,
I don't
because
see no.
no, I agree with you. Everyone passes away alone. However, the process in those last days, like your ideally they're supposed to be your glory days of where you've done your fair share of turmoil and work throughout your entire life. You're supposed to live the remaining years, in peace. But if you're not granted that or afforded that because you still have to continue to work and still bust your ass and stress at 65 years old, I mean, that matters, don't it?
It really, you can't say that's gonna be for our generation because most women really don't need men. To be honest, like
Well,
we
70.
have,
I will
we're
have.
going into careers. We're going into careers that our past generation didn't have the opportunity. Like me, I don't really have to work for like the path I'm going. I'm not going to work for anyone, and I'm very stable. I don't need anyone.
Well, you do understand that 72% of black women in the workforce make less than $37,000 a year, right?
I don't really believe in statistics because statistics change, and
Oh,
I don't think
see.
that's accurate.
Okay, well then
Because I believe in real life.
okay,
Because
so
most black
so
women,
so real life.
I don't, I don't do that Kevin Samuel stuff because
Wait. Why?
it,
But wait a second. Why are you attributing statistics and data to Kevin Samuels? That's just statistics and data. That's how our civilization is.
most black men that I come across are red pill, and I just stay away from them because they don't live in reality, and they
They
have
don't.
this weird hatred towards their own women. They're the only subgroup. Nobody else does that. I'm African, by the way,
Well,
so that's
um,
not my reality.
actually, there are a lot of men. Actually, I wouldn't just attribute the red pill mentality to black men. Black men really have the burgeoning of the red pill movement. Basically, catalyzed the black manosphere. Excuse me. So, first it was the red pill movement, then the whole black manosphere, black manosphere emerged from that. So it wasn't really black men that started this. It was really white men and other ethnicities that started this, and the MGTOW movement and all these other things that happened that emerged as a result.
the movement because these people have a weird obsession with critiquing black women, and half of these men that have all to say don't even like them. So it's like, why would you give me advice and you don't like me? That's actually a waste of
But that's a
time.
value judgment. Like, how do you make that assumption that just because they're giving you constructive criticism that automatically
I
you
don't
assume that they don't like
I
you?
don't want your constructive. I didn't ask for it and I don't need it. I'm not your preference. Go speak to the white women and the white Latinas. Do
But hold
not
up,
talk to me.
but
I
wait a
am
second. Can I ask you a question though? But when black men or any other man speaks on the issues that are affecting black women today, why do you take it personally?
I take it personally, not in all aspects, because, like I said, black men, a lot of black men, I can only speak for ones in America. A lot of them have internal self hate. So when they speak, I don't take them seriously, you know? And they have all this judgment towards their own subgroup, but they don't have the same standards for other races. Like, I literally seen black American men put white women on a pedestal. She don't even have a college degree. She has nothing going for herself. But her proximity of being a white woman, they're like, oh, that's better. I've seen that in real life. So
Hmm.
me seeing things, I don't even take people seriously at all.
You said okay. So your criticism to the whole red pill and black manosphere movement is that you think that they are making a judgment against black women or something.
Yeah, they're just making profit off of women that they're clearly not attracted to. A lot of black men, especially millennial and Generation Z, they're not even attracted to their own women. So why are you speaking about somebody that you don't? It's actually a waste of
Because
time.
well, 85% of black men marry black women. 85%. And I know you said you don't believe in statistics and all that stuff, but most people believe in stats and things like that. But
Even stop. You can't say most people because there's 7 billion people on this planet. That's just your
hmm
perspective.
I
I
mean,
don't believe.
you just cited a stat right there, though.
I didn't agree with you. I didn't agree
I
with
mean,
you.
you just cited a stat, though. You said there's 7 billion people. How would you know that if there wasn't statistical analysis?
No, there's like around 7 billion people on this planet.
Right.
They
How?
count.
Where did you? That's what I'm saying.
That's
Like,
just not.
that's not something that
Yeah,
you could.
but this
But that's not observable to the naked eye. Like, you would have to have verifiable, independent evidence to verify
let's
that.
put that in. My thing is, my thing is, a lot of black men, and you have to admit it, right? And I'm speaking for millennials and Generation Z. I'm not talking about the other generation.
Hmm.
They do not like their own women. So my thing is, if you do not like a subgroup of women, stop talking about them. They're not your preferences. Leave them alone. It's like when Joe Budden was pandering on Twitter, talking about why there's only Latinas in the club because that's who you brag about. This is what you wanted. So what are you complaining for?
Well, so you got to understand, and I don't know if you're aware of this, but for the better half of, I want to say, since the early 60s, since really the inception of the whole feminist first wave movement, there has been men have been, especially black men, have been vilified through The Color Purple, through the Birth of a Nation. Black men have worn this stigma for so long, and black women, not until the late 60s, really started to share that sentiment and agree with the global stage that the black man is worthless. And so even in the early 60s, when you see how the welfare benefits started to really start to permeate our community, and black men started to enter back into the workforce, while that was happening simultaneously, the welfare recipient rights continued to recipient rates continued to rise as black men were going back to work. So black women were choosing mediocre benefits over black men.
I hear you. My thing is this: people are wasting time. And my thing is, people just need to focus on themselves, whatever makes you happy. Because at the end of the day, from a black woman's perspective, I listen to none of that because it's garbage in my ears. My thing is, if you want to make a change, build a bank, build a hospital, build stuff for your community. Because you could talk all day, but if there's
But
not
there's no
anything
community
changing,
though.
I agree. I don't believe there's a black community because nobody does stuff. Everybody just talks all day. They don't
Well,
do anything.
well, I mean, like I said, I'm only gonna keep referring to the stats because I do my research, and I mean, you can verify me or agree with me or just disregard what I'm saying. But like I said earlier, 72% of black women are in the workforce and they make less than $37,000 a year, and black men, on average, black men bring in about $41,000 to $42,000 a year. So, you know, basically, how can a woman, if she has kids too at that, how can a black woman be able to provide for herself, let alone her children,
I
with
think
that?
okay, my argument on what you're saying, why do you care? You don't care about these women. Why do you care?
I mean,
They don't need your advice. You don't like them.
well, that's what I'm saying.
You're
You make
not you're not you're not helping them financially. You don't care about them. You have children with them. You abandon them. Why do you care to give people advice that you
but
don't want? It
but
doesn't
listen,
make sense.
and I'm gonna respond to that. So you're using the Nader fallacy, and that is you taking a small percentage of the worst group members of black men and extrapolating upon all black men, and that's not fair because a small percent, the 52% of black men are single and childless. 30% of black men are married. So that means only 20% women are. 20% of black men, the Pookies and the Ray Rays, are responsible for the lion's share of the children. 80% of our children are being born out of wedlock. Only 20%. Black women don't even realize they're in a rotation with like a small percentage of black men because they look over the lames, the guys that don't have swag. They look over those guys.
Bro, you ever heard a thing about colorism? Y'all don't like your own women. Everybody knows this already. And I'm not saying you, half of you guys don't want women, your own women. Everybody knows this. The most people who date interracially, right, are African American men. It's not black women, it's y'all. So you could talk, you need to have a conversation with your own group of men, not black American women.
But black men have been improving though. We haven't been complaining. We've been
But
taking
okay, but
all of the vilification that's been coming our way.
okay, so my thing is, if you're doing good, stop talking about black women. That's
No,
it. Leave them alone.
the only reason why the whole reason why black women are being broached into the conversation is because like I said earlier, 85% of black men marry black women. We want to be married to our women. We would rather be married with our women. I'm married to a black woman right now.
Okay, but that's you. That's you on an individual basis. That's not the collective of your own
Well,
community.
like I said, 52% of black men are single and childless, and 30% of black men are married. So that means that given the opportunity to find a submissive black woman who doesn't have this feminist mindset, this ideology that's permeated their mindset, given that opportunity, when you find that woman, we will marry her when she proves herself to be wife worthy. But black women today don't feel like they need
Okay,
to prove themselves.
okay, but they don't date black women. Date your preferences and leave them alone. That's it. Like me, I don't date. I date outside my race. I don't care. I'm gonna just be honest. All this conversation that I see on the internet, it doesn't pertain to me.
Well, you know what? We need each other. Oops. We need. Oh, one second. I'm sorry. Ah.
Go ahead.
You say it again. I'm sorry.
No, I'm just saying from perspective view, like I would call it the new generation of black women don't care about that. Like we have options. We date outside our race. We don't care that, if people want us or not because we're appreciated.
But that's the
So
saying. That's the
my
thing. Only black women are only you. You can only see it in the black community with our women. This rebellious mentality against reality. You don't see a bunch of Hispanics and Arabs and any other ethnicity standing in line waiting to marry black women. Only one
okay,
in
so
four
this
black women would be married. One in
okay, but
four.
my thing is, why do you care?
I,
That's the point I'm trying to say.
and
If you don't, I tell black men all the time, right? If you think black women are difficult to deal with, stop talking about them and date a Latina or a white woman and leave us alone.
Yeah,
Leave us
well,
out your conversation.
that's what I'm saying. That's what's going on. But you have to understand
But
that.
I'm happy. I'm happy
But
that they're
listen,
not.
these
I'm
but
happy.
listen. It matters. It matters to men like me, which is fit. I represent the majority. Like I said again, 50% of us are single and childless, and we're not out here Pookie and Ray Ray and having kids galore. Again, that's a small percentage of men that's out here busting women's backs open and having kids with them and leaving them. That's a small percentage of men that's doing that. Black men in particular, but it matters because you black women are our sisters, our mothers, our cousins, they are a part of us. That's why it matters. And if we can't tell y'all the truth, who can? Because y'all for damn sure won't hear from the white man, any other ethnicity. If your own men cannot tell you the truth, like if we can't say anything to you, you will not listen to us, and you damn for sure won't listen to each other. Who can tell black women the truth? Who?
Yeah, but black women want to be left alone. They don't want to hear garbage. We didn't ask for that. Just leave us alone and date your preference and keep our names at your mouth. That's it.
So when I tell a young black woman, who's out here living this thottish lifestyle and she wants to give herself away to every single dude.
That's her problem. That's her problem.
Okay, but that's what I'm saying. We have an atomized society where everybody's hyper individualized, where we don't think that it's incumbent upon us to speak to our brother and our sister. That's not how when we did
But
have a community,
but
once upon a time when our community did exist and marriage rates were at 85%. This was in the 50s. We had shame in our in our community. We had shame. We called out shameful behavior. Now it's like it's forbidden to call out shameful behavior because
But bro, you got to realize this is a new generation. We don't care about that. You understand? Like we live in America. This is an individual capitalistic society. You can't tell grown people what to do. Like even right now, like if you lecture and even right now, if you go down the street and you start lecturing, they're just going to leave you alone. We're adults. People are
no,
going to live how they want to live. You can't tell grown people what to do and how they should live their life.
listen, I totally agree with you. That's what that's why I think it's incumbent. I think it's incumbent upon both black men and women to crawl across the broken glass and come to the
And
table together.
some black women don't want to date black men. There are certain black women that are happy that don't want to deal with black men or the black community because the black community is extremely toxic.
No,
I don't even date black men because it's toxic in that community.
I agree
I
with
don't
that.
want to be part of that.
I agree with you. But again, if you sit down and you talk to your sisters and ask them if given an opportunity or a choice, would they rather be with a black man or would they rather be with someone else from the other ethnicity? Most black women, most ethnicities want to marry within their race. That's biological evolution.
Yeah, but you can't say most because
Yes, that's
everybody's
most.
different.
What do you mean most? If you look at every other ethnic group, they marry within their own race and culture. That's cross culturally.
Yeah,
So that's all.
I understand.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I said I totally understand that. But at the end of the day, you have to realize people are going to live their own life. You could you could tell them what they want to do, but they're going to do what they want to do cuz it's their life.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I totally understand and I agree with you. But you have to understand when children are being brought into the mix. That's when both adults need to come to the table and speak. Like I think it's a problem that majority of our women are having sex with pookies because they have swag, they're tall, they have this, but they have nothing going on for themselves. And they get pissed off because they believe this guy is somehow has potential, and then when he fucks them over, the next thing you know, they have this cynical attitude towards all black men, like black men ain't shit because they dealt with a fucking toxic predator.
Why does that bother you so much if you're not one of those black men?
Again, I told you it matters to me because I have a black daughter. I have a black wife. I have two black daughters. I have a black mother. I love black people. I love them so much. I love them so much so that I would tell them the truth, just like I would tell my mom the truth, my daughters the truth. I would tell them, hey, value yourself. Do not give yourself to anyone. It's not all about this whole do what thy wilt mentality. Do what you want that makes you feel good. Because what you feel and what you want may be dangerous. I mean, can we not say that now? You telling me that's forbidden to actually try to prevent the toxic outcome? What's wrong with that now? That's what I'm saying. Like you can't even speak. Now it's like black men are.
You could tell your own family. You cannot tell strangers.
No, I mean
I get it that
go ahead.
you tell your family. You could talk to your family and you could tell your family. People who are outside your family, that's not your business.
Well, again, I mean, thankfully we live in a country where we all have the right of free speech, right? We all afforded that right. So black women, they can walk away from the advice, or some may listen. Some may want to listen, but I think ultimately there needs to be always room for improvement. I don't think black women need to just settle for what they think they know. You can always learn. You can always learn more about yourself. If you're just gonna stagnate yourself because you think you know more than what you know, then you're ultimately setting yourself up for failure. Straight up.
Okay, but if they fail, what does that have to do with you?
Again, it has nothing to do with me. Me personally, I will wish them well. I won't sit here and try to bludgeon them to death with love or with the unvarnished truth. My thing is, you take it, you receive it. If you don't, you don't. It's not going to have any direct impact on my life, and I don't think I don't think it has any direct impact on most black men's life. But I think that the conversation still need to be had because we don't want to go another 40 years of this destruction. I mean, what are you saying? We 13% of the we represent 14% of the population and responsible for 51% of the homicide. I mean, we're just not going to talk about that. We're just going to keep whistling past the grave like it's just not happening. We've done that already. We've already experimented that. We ran that experiment. How about we just shut our mouths, don't mention it, and we just blame the white man for the next 40 years? Let's just run that. Let's run that hypothesis for a second. Let's just put all of our issues on the white man in America, instead of internalizing and looking at ourselves. Let's do that for 40 years.
Yeah, that's not me. That's what I'm saying. That doesn't pertain to me.
But okay, well then you represent a very, very, very small minority, because most black men, a lot of black men and black women, they like to castigate the blame on someone else. And the thing about it is, they don't even realize that their problem is right there in the mirror. But you're advocating, along with a lot of other black women are advocating, don't say shit about it. My thing is, goddamn, how is that love just to watch? I would rather somebody break my ribs to prevent me from jumping off a cliff because I want to kill myself. I would rather you personally, a stranger, break my ribs, like tackle me before I jump off a cliff because I feel a certain way about myself. That's love. That's true love. Because we all deserve a life worth living. I mean, we just got to be honest with each other. We've already ran the experiment of just gaslighting shit and putting the blame at the foot of everything else. When can we have a real conversation? When? That's all I ask. And listen, and I don't think you're combative, and I respect your perspective. I mean, I hear it often, but I respect your perspective. But you have to understand, as your black brother here, you know what I'm saying? We want to be with our women. We really do. We just need y'all to get to a place where y'all don't have to take on this burden. Y'all don't have to go sleep with the Pookies or the Ray Rays. Y'all don't have to be overexerting yourselves in the workforce. We want y'all to rest in y'all feminine. That's what we want. Ultimately. I told my wife that the other day. I said, I reject the myth of the strong black women. You deserve to be vulnerable. She deserves to
What
be
the
vulnerable.
heck?
I belong to God. Y'all belong to us.
Yeah, I don't like that. I
It's
don't like
true.
nah. I don't like that submissive stuff. That's not for me.
Well, that not
Mm-mm.
well, now you therein lies the problem. Because there cannot be two presidents in the home.
Yeah, but that's why I'd rather stay by myself because I'm not going to bend for anybody.
Well,
I don't
darling,
do submissive.
well, I hate to tell you this, and you can refute it, you can disregard it or not believe it, whatever you want to do with it. But this is very important information I'm about to tell you. The biggest predictor of a female happiness lies within family. It's not a career or job.
That's not true because
Okay.
that's I don't that's not true. Like me, I would never want to have children.
The
I
highest
don't
the
care
highest
about that.
okay, but then you're the minority. You are the minority, but the majority of women want family. And the highest demographic of unhappy women are women who are between the ages of 40 to 50 years old, making at least 50 to $100,000 a year. These women are successfully they are economically successful, but yet they are the unhappiest because they want family, but they're past their prime. They sacrifice their prime years to pursue a career, and now they're later on in life, you know, they regret it because they're not the hottest thing on the block anymore.
But that's gonna happen to everybody.
Yeah, but a woman must preserve her value. Men, we are not born with value. You women are born with inherent value. There are privileges that are afforded to women that I don't even think you even recognize. Women can sell fucking feet pics and get money. Women can go into clubs for free. Women can be around celebs, athletes, and all. You guys can be in certain environments that it would take years for a man to develop the stature to be around. Women are afforded so many luxuries in our society today. So
Yeah.
many. I mean, look at it. I mean, look at the institutions today. The college admission rates are low for men now. Men are not enrolling in college anymore because it's predominantly female led.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like all that family stuff, that's not everybody's story because me, right? I'd rather stay on my career and my finances and focus on that. Because at the end of the day,
That's a that's a fa-
I need money.
that's a
I'd
Fausti-
rather pick
that's a
I'd rather
Faustian
pick
bargain,
career
darling.
over men. I
But
don't care about that. That's
but
just
that
not me.
I get it, but you have to understand that's every black woman's Faustian bargain today. That you guys are trading something of supreme you're trading something of supreme morality for material, and that's not we all. I mean, I don't know if you noticed, but money and things like that don't make you happy. It doesn't. I'm trying to keep it real with
Yeah,
you.
yeah, but nah, we not bums. You can't. No, no,
No, you're
no.
not bums, but
I
thirty-seven
rather.
thousand dollars a year is not, that's not gonna suffice, darling. For a lot of women. I'm not talking about you. We're not talking about you, but the majority of black women that's only pulling in 37,000 a year.
I don't. Maybe that's the older. That's not Generation Z and millennials. That's not our generation because there's a lot of black women that are enrolling in universities and they're lawyers and doctors. I saw
No,
so
no,
many
no, that's not
graduations
true.
and it's
Not
majority black women.
Yeah, I know, but do you understand what the character you understand what sort of traits a woman has to acquire to go into these competitive career paths? They have to acquire these masculine traits, and they immediately price themselves out of the dating market because a man is not going to be with a fucking headache. And most women that are in these career paths where they have to become basically men, a man is not going. A man, men, we have wants and preferences too. Just like women have preferences, y'all have preferences. Y'all want a tall dude. Y'all want a dude that can be financially stable. Y'all have preferences. Our preferences is none of that shit. We don't give a fuck about a career. Only thing we want is a submissive woman. If we can get that, and y'all can.
Well, I tell black men all the time, if you feel like black women are not it, go date your preferences and leave them alone. That's
No,
it.
but that's what I'm saying. I've never said throughout this entire call that
I'm not
black
saying
men.
you.
Well,
I'm not saying you.
well,
I'm
most
saying
black
a lot of
men.
black.
I listen
I'm
to them. I
saying
listen to the Black Manosphere. They're not advocating. Well, now recently they have been, but they're not saying that they don't want to be with black women. They want to. We want to be with black women, but black women do not want to cooperate with us.
so leave them alone. Go date your preferences.
They
Nobody's
have,
stopping
but
you.
listen, they have, but
Okay, so stop talking about us.
okay, but
Date your
but
preferences
listen,
and keep our name out your
but
conversation
listen,
because we're not chasing you.
But
We're
for
in college.
but for fellas like me who actually care, and I promise I represent the majority, because the type of men that you're describing right now, it sound like they are toxic and they don't need to be affiliated with a black woman. But men like me who's actually trying to have a dialogue and just try to bridge some understanding with our women, what we're trying to understand is, why is it that you all expect us to be the traditional men and fulfill our roles, but yet when we ask for simple things, just cooperation, we can't even get that. But we are expected to stay in our role. We have to be providers, protectors. If a motherfucking robber breaks in your house at night, who you want to get up and take that bullet? It's gonna be me. I gotta take the bullet. I can't wake you up. Hey baby, go. Somebody at the door. I gotta go down there as the man and take that bullet and be willing to die for my family. I gotta do that because I'm the man. So that's what I'm saying. And we don't even. It's not even a thought for men. It's just we know inherently that's what our role is, and we are required to maintain those roles. But yet women, they got the on and off switch where they don't have to stay in their roles. They don't have to. Their roles are negotiable. Don't you think that's kind of like it's? And again, I think it's just so important that we just had a conversation, because I don't like seeing the state of our women today. I just don't like it. I see, in spite of this whole masculine assertiveness that a women like to masquerade around as if they're happy and all this. No, because on social media they put little subtle hints. I promise you, it's all on social media. Even the most happiest, rich, successful women drop subtle hints that they're unhappy. They drop subtle hints through memes, through pictures, through little quotes. These women drop subtle hints like, okay, like I'm all alone here. It's just me. And I don't think pressure was meant. Yeah, it is, because pressure is meant for fucking shoulders, not meant for hips.
No, I don't think there's nothing wrong with being in solitude and taking care of yourself. It's a lot more peaceful than to deal with people.
Well, I mean, I don't know what type of people that I don't know what type of people that you might have encountered,
Girl,
but life is about people.
Everybody is not like that. People don't mind being a cat lady. If I don't have to deal with men or deal with anybody and I just go on my vacation and have peace, that's wonderful. I'd rather pick that over anything.
That's fine. That's fine. I mean, that's no issue with that. But the thing about it is the difference between men who decide to live a life of solitude versus a woman. We don't have to rely upon the government. We'll go fucking live on the streets and eat ramen noodles. Women, they'll garner welfare benefits and things of that nature, which the more majority of the tax base is men. So y'all, as proud as women want to be about, okay, fuck man, I don't need them, I can do me. Okay, when you got 5 kids from a pookie and he ain't paying no child support, but you enlisting yourself into welfare benefits, who do you think are paying the majority of those taxes to pay for those benefits? Men. We are. At the end of the day, y'all still need our money. So it's like I said, it's
not everybody.
It's not everybody, but it's a majority, darling. I'm trying to tell you, I don't see. Well, again, this is where we kind of differ, because you don't believe in the stats and things like that. But no,
I just go by what I see, and
well,
most
that's
black
subjective.
women I see are together.
Well, that's subjective. You can't just
Their
go by
lives
what
in
you see,
order.
darling. You can't just go by what you see. You know what I'm saying? You got to go by verifiable evidence, things that and someone outside of you can independently verify for themselves and be like, okay,
My thing, I tell these YouTubers, I don't tell them personally because I don't care. My thing is, if you see black women are the problem and they're not submissive, stop talking about them. Marry your Latinas, your white Latinas, your white women, and leave us out the conversation. Leave us alone.
I
We
don't
don't
think that's
want
love.
our names in our mouth.
I just don't
Just
think
leave.
that's love. I don't think that's love. Ah, my phone died. Man, that was a good conversation. My damn phone died. Yeah, Sash. Hey, I tried, man. This mentality, this ideology has completely like penetrated the minds of our women, black women in particular. A lot of white women too. You know, it's just I don't know. It's like they're ensconced in this belief that they're impervious, they're infallible, and you know you can't tell them shit. It's a sad state of affairs. And she kept asking, why do I care? Well, for one, I care about the truth. I care about the truth. So in telling the truth and speaking the truth, you know, we dispel the lie. Liberals, Democrats have lied to black people. I mean, they continue to promulgate lies to everyone, but you know, black people in particular, they have lied. Overtly lied. Wow, that was a great conversation. Maybe I can charge my phone up and get her back on. But she was great. I mean, you know, I feel bad, but I think she might have been listening. I mean, did it seem like she listened? She was grasping what I was saying? I don't know. You just never will know, will you? Let me give me 1 second. I gotta hook my phone up. See if we can get a quick charge. I'm gonna try to charge it up for like 15-20 minutes. See if we can get back on Beagle and interact with a few other people. 1 second. Wow, that was a good conversation. Wow, that was great. She was on hard with the crazy stuff. She said, "Why don't you leave us alone?" That's how they feel. All right, we're back. Just gotta charge my phone up for a little bit. New candy, yeah. Did it drop? Did it drop yet? New Candace Owens stock. George Floyd should be. Yes, I know. Did they drop it yet? Because shit, I wanted to do a reaction. See, I'm always a little leery about doing reaction videos to Daily Wire content because you know these guys are, you know, they're doing big things, and I don't want to. Oh, okay. I don't want to put out their content before they have had an opportunity. So, you know, I don't want to. Look what's going on my stream here. Yeah. She definitely seemed like she was falling asleep, though. I mean, I don't know. Some points, I think she might have received a few points, but ultimately, I just think that mentality, that mindset, that I'm single, I'm independent, leave me alone, that masculine mentality, when a black woman has acquired that mindset, it is the most difficult thing to persuade them from that mind, from at least relinquishing that mindset, because they believe that's their identity. They believe that's what their nature entails. And they see their fellow black women emulating that same sort of mentality. So they all, most women are hive-minded creatures. They, they think as a group think. So as long as Cardi B gets on, is whatever she puts out there for black women to emulate, shit, it's a damn shame. Gosh, look at me. My stuff is all jacked up here. All right, well, struggle streaming. What I'm going to do, I'm going to try to charge this phone up for like a good 10 minutes, and I probably should jump back on and try again. I mean, this was cool. This was really cool. Yeah. Yep. It's convincing people to be alone. I agree. I totally agree, man. I totally agree. It's, it's disheartening, I mean, although I'm married and I'm, living my life and doing whatever I have to do, and, I'm still crestfallen by this because it's like watching the brainwashing just take hold. It's insidious. Quite insidious, yo. But yeah, I'm probably gonna jump back on and probably I don't know. Sheesh. I don't know. Should I jump back on or should I just pull the plug and try this again tomorrow? What do you think? Let me know. I mean, you're my loyal listener here, so your opinion matters, man. Oh gosh. I'll try it with her though. I definitely did. I'm gonna have to put that on. Black. Yeah, I feel you. Okay, well, shit. I'm probably gonna pull the plug tonight, so I definitely have to have my black Patishi up at 6 a.m. tomorrow. And then what else do I have to do? Yeah, I think I'm gonna do this again, but I'm probably gonna jump on early tomorrow. Probably, I don't know, 8, 7, 8. Do me a favor, man. If you know anyone that may be interested in this sort of content, bring them on by. I can't stress that enough. I'm a struggle streamer here, so But hey, look, you can't say that you weren't here from the beginning, man. So I appreciate the love. I really do. I really do. It's just gonna take some time. I got to do this more often. And I think it went okay. But I certainly appreciate your viewership, certainly. But I think I'm gonna call it quits for tonight, man. You guys. Oh, dope. All right, sweet. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. All right, man. Well, yeah. Tomorrow at 8, maybe 9. Black people time. But I'll catch you then, man. Thank you. Oops. But yeah, because this looks very, very janky right now. I don't want to. I don't want to stream with all this crap in the background. So, all right. I'm stalling. See you later. Take care, bro.